Instead of the warm and fuzzy family-friendly Christmas movie that we're used to, we're going to explore the darker side of the holiday season. So grab your eggnog, settle in, and get ready to be scared this Christmas season. I'm your host Andrew, and here are your top 10 Christmas horror movies that'll keep you up. At number 10 spot, we have Rare Exports. Rare Exports is a 2010 Finnish horror film that tells the story of a group of people living near a remote mountain in Finland. As they begin to uncover the secrets of the mountain, they come to realize that it is a burial ground of the real Santa Claus. Yeah, this Santa Claus has been apparently kept frozen for centuries. As they try to unravel the mystery of the mountain, they discover that Santa Claus is not the jolly old man they thought he was, but rather a fearsome and malevolent being who has been unleashed upon the world. The movie is a blend of dark humor and horror and has been described as creepy and suspenseful by some viewers. Some of the scariest moments in the film include the discovery of the ancient frozen Santa Claus. It is not as jolly and plump as the legend is, but instead a terrifying creature with sharp teeth and long white hair. Other terrifying scenes in this movie include the moments when the group of boys would be chased and hunted by the Santa Claus. Just seeing the Santa move at inhumane speeds and just disappear into the shadows is enough to make you think of Christmas a bit more differently. At a number 9 spot, we have A Black Christmas. Black Christmas is a 1974 horror film that was directed by Bob Clark and written by Roy Moore. The film centers around a group of sorority sisters who are living in a house together over the Christmas break. As the holiday season approaches, the girls begin to receive threatening phone calls from an unknown caller who seems to know all about their lives. The caller becomes increasingly violent and begins to stalk the girls, leading to a series of gruesome murders. The film is considered to be one of the earliest examples of the slasher film genre. It's also notable for its use of the point of view shot to create suspense. The film was a commercial success, and it has since gained a cult following among fans of the horror genre. This film eventually led the way to other slashers like Friday the 13th and Halloween, so all thanks to that. There are a good amount of casualties in this movie, so just be prepared for the worst if you decide to turn this one on. At the number 8 spot, we have Christmas Evil. Christmas Evil is a 1980 horror film written and directed by Lewis Jackson. The film follows the story of Harry Stadling, a toy factory worker who becomes obsessed with the idea of Santa Claus. After being traumatized by a Santa impersonator as a child, Harry becomes fixated on the idea of becoming the perfect Santa, and he begins to stalk and terrorize those he deems to be naughty, like Santa. Basically, he thinks he is Santa Claus himself. Eventually, his obsession leads to him going on a killing spree on Christmas Eve that is one of the bloodiest in cinematic history. This really gives other slasher films a run for their money. Throughout the film, the viewer is given insight into Harry's troubled mind and the psychological toll that his obsession takes on him and those around him. The film is known for his dark humor and his exploration of the impact of trauma on the human psyche. Despite its low-budget production and mixed reception from critics, the film has developed a cult following as mentioned, and it is still one of the greatest Christmas horror movies of all time. Number 7, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a 1984 holiday-themed horror film about a young boy named Billy who witnesses his parents being murdered by a man dressed as Santa Claus. This traumatic experience causes Billy to develop a fear of Santa and all things associated with Christmas. This means reindeer, Christmas trees, presents, and gingerbread houses. Yeah, he was scared of all of it. Even when he got older, his fear of Santa Claus remains, and he is unable to enjoy the holiday season like other people. So one day, his family is threatened by a group of burglars, and Billy just snaps and goes on a killing spree dressed as none other than Santa Claus. I do warn you, this movie is extremely gory, and there's even a scene where someone gets impaled with a deer antler. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna tune in just because I said that. As well, seeing Santa as a vicious murderer instead of a joyful giver is definitely something people don't expect around these festive times. Number 6, Night of the Comet. Night of the Comet is a campy, hilarious, and completely delightful romp through a post-apocalyptic world filled with zombies, killer robots, and really bad hairstyles. The 1984 film follows two teenage sisters, Reggie and Samantha, who are the only survivors of a catastrophic comet that wipes out most of humanity. As they struggle to survive in a world full of mindless zombies and dangerous creatures, they also have to deal with the perils of being a teenager in the 80s, which obviously includes stuff like the bad hair, the awkward dates, and trying to find the perfect pair of jeans. The comic arrived 11 days before Christmas, so much of this movie deals with the festive holiday. However, it isn't the premise. Overall, a one-of-a-kind movie with the most unique blend of science fiction, horror, and comedy all in one. Right in the hump of our list, we have The Lodge. The Lodge is a spine-tingling psychological horror film that will have you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. This 2009 psychological horror film, directed by Severin Fiala and Veronica Franz, takes place during Christmas time, and that's basically the only connection to Christmas. Sorry. The story follows a young woman named Grace who becomes a caretaker of a remote lodge with her soon-to-be stepchildren. They're all struggling to cope with the recent passing of their mother, and as they begin to unravel, they are haunted by mysterious and terrifying events that suggest the presence of a malevolent force. The tension builds and the twist keeps coming as the family is forced to confront their deepest fears and darkest secrets here. With its chilling atmosphere, talented casting, and shocking ending, The Lodge is a must-see for fans of horror and suspense, with a little bit of touch of the Christmas times. Number 4, The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one is less terrifying and more of a classic among Christmas and horror movie enthusiasts. The Nightmare Before Christmas is a stop-motion animated film directed by Henry Selick and produced by Tim Burton. The film follows Jack Skellington as he discovers and becomes fascinated by Christmastown. Despite the reluctance of the other Halloween Town residents, Jack sets out to kidnap Santa Claus and take over the Christmas holiday. The film combines elements of fantasy, horror, and musical genres and has become a classic. It was released in 1993 and continues to be a popular Halloween and Christmas movie, and although it is not super horrific, the movie does have its moments. The film has a dark and grim aesthetic that may be unsettling for those first-time viewers, but once you dive into the story, I promise you guys won't be able to escape it. Number 3, Polar Express. I know what you're thinking, Polar Express isn't scary at all. And it wasn't meant to be scary, so how's it on this list? First of all, Tom Hanks voices 6 characters. Pretty scary. Okay, jokes aside, this movie touches upon the uncanny valley where the animations make the characters in the movie seem a bit too real, but something seems off. Every time I looked into these lifeless ICGIs, I only questioned if there was anything else to these animations. As well, there's stuff like the ghost on the roof, the weird unfriendly conductor, and the constant chance of peril. The fact that you're never sure if the train is good or bad, this movie makes you question every good thing that happens. And trust me, this movie was meant to be good in every single way. One of the creepiest moments in this film had to be the scene with the puppets. This scene just felt weird and unnecessary, but maybe that's only me. Regardless, give this movie a try if you want to watch something that's supposed to be a good, happy movie, but instead has a lot of darker undertones to it. Number 2, Gremlins. This movie isn't the most terrifying, but another Christmas horror film classic. And we have Gremlins. Gremlins is a classic 1984 American horror comedy film directed by Joe Dante. The film tells the story of a young man named Billy who receives a strange and mysterious creature called a mogwai as a Christmas present. The mogwai, which he names Gizmo, is a lovable and cute creature, but it comes with a set of strict rules that must be followed. These include that it must never be exposed to bright light or water or be fed after midnight. However, rules are meant to be broken, and this is exactly what happens. The film is well known for its dark humor and its use of special effects to bring the creatures to life. It was a commercial success and spawned a franchise of sequels, including Gremlins 2, The New Batch, released in 1990. If you're a fan of horror comedies or just want to see something unique and entertaining, Gremlins is definitely worth checking out. At a number 1 spot, we have Krampus. Krampus is a 2015 horror comedy film that is based on the mythical creature of the same name. The film follows a young boy named Max who loses his Christmas spirit and inadvertently summons Krampus, a demonic creature who punishes those who have lost the true meaning of Christmas, especially to warn those who have been a bit too naughty around these times. As Krampus and his minions terrorizes Max's family and his friends, they must fight to survive and save Christmas from being completely destroyed. Now, outside of the movie, Krampus is known to be this mythical creature from European folklore, who is said to punish children who have been naughty. In some depictions, Krampus is portrayed as a frightening figure with horns, a long tongue, and sharp teeth. He may also carry chains or a bundle of birch branches to whip misbehaving children, so you can imagine how terrifying this being is in the movie. Also directed by Michael Dougherty, you can't go wrong watching this Christmas classic. Well, these are the top 10 Christmas horror movies that will keep you up. What did you guys think about this list? Leave a comment down below, and I hope you guys have a good Christmas season, because I will.